Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this live stream. I hope everybody's really doing well. So guys, how's everyone doing? Well, after a long time we've been doing this stream actually, and it's a good thing actually. And I think after a long time we are doing it, so I'm really a bit nervous as well. At the same time, I'm very much excited because seeing you, a lot of guys on basically the followers is a really good thing. I mean, so first of all, I would like to wish all of you a very happy new year, and I hope this year 2024 brings a lot of success and prosperity basically. And speaking about 2024, I wish that you have at least made your plans. Now you should literally be making your goals. That's very important actually, because if you really don't make your goals, I think it's not gonna work. So that's very important, very important, guys. And overall, I think it's a good start. And 2023 was awesome. We started this community called 21 and Technicals. And we started in August, and so far it's an awesome ride actually. So basically, I think 2024 is going to be awesome. So 2023 was awesome, and 2023 is going to be amazing. So the community, the crypto community overall, is evolving into new spaces for like artificial intelligence, gaming, and all sort of new stuffs coming in. I think 2024 is going to be a blast year. It's just that we need to keep looking for good opportunities. Hence, I think 2024 is going to be amazing. Now, first of all, a small talk on what you should be doing for 2024. If you haven't made your goals, just made it today. Sit with your fam, maybe like your wife, your spouse, or you alone. Make a goal. What do you want to achieve in 2024? Now, the achievement can be anything. Your health achievements, your financial capabilities, your business acumens, your relationship, anything. So just write it down, and the goals is necessary. And when you have the goal, you will start working towards that goal. So a lot of people have shared their goals with me. I have my own goals, and that's what we want to achieve in 2024. And we are going to grow this community to 10,000 plus members probably in 2024, inshallah. So now that is the most important thing that I want to tell you. Have your goals, because if you don't have it, you don't really have a purpose as to what you want to do in 2024. Okay. Now, a lot of people tells me that we have missed this, we have missed that, and we have missed good opportunities, and now we are listening to someone buying some coins and that coin is dumping. There is a concept, actually, I don't know how many of you guys know about it. So it's not only about crypto, but it applies to everything. There is a concept of a red car. So how many times when you go out from your home in the morning for work or for anything, how many times do you notice a red car? So basically, I would say I never notice actually any car, to be honest. But let's say if your spouse or anyone more influential tells you, if you notice for every red car you notice, I'm going to pay you $10. And that's what you're going to do then. You keep on looking for those red cars. And that's exactly what the opportunity and success means. The opportunities comes to those who keep on looking. If you just sit tight and you don't do anything, the opportunity is not gonna come. And that's exactly what you need to do. You just need to keep on looking and looking and looking and looking. Don't worry. It's not like that you didn't get result in a month or 2 months or 3 months down the line, that you have lost your whole year. No, you still have a year. A one day in a year can make gains or can give amazing opportunity for years to come. Just one day. Exactly that happened with me in 2023. So now with this, let's move on to the crypto analysis, guys. And with this, welcome to this live stream 21M Technicals. This is TMV, your host, and I'm just going to take you to the charts. We're going to analyze what I expect in 2024, and on the higher term time frame. The lower term time frame part we will be discussing separately with the premium members. So let's start with the higher term time frame first. And before we go towards USDT DOM chart, first of all, let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart. So we are now going to the Bitcoin liquidity index. I've already mentioned in my community that the golden pocket zone for BTC is more likely going to be a rejection around 48.5 to 48.6, and that's exactly what happened. Now for the 2024, and what I expect is, see, the pump that we got was some sort of a wave 1, and then you got ABC, irregular expanded flat, or I would say a running flat for a wave 2. And then we got impulsive move, wave 3. Now this impulsive move, the wave 3 that we got, after that we got a sharp rejection and a strong weekly bearish engulfing candle. A weekly bearish engulfing candle for a first time in this whole pump from 24,000. So that's exactly, the engulfing candle here is. Now, last time we got a similar engulfing candle, the price literally start dumping from an engulfing candle literally for like 11%. Now, a similar sort of thing is expected. Then we can see that the price is going to a minimum level of 36.9 to 37,000. So that's exactly, what I think is going to happen in next coming days. More of a sideways correction and then a further dump towards 36.9 to 37.2. Now, the first major count that I have is, and definitely if we want to be bullish, we need this sort of account. So let's say if you are in a bull run, we have started a bull run. So this move is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. We're going to see wave 4, a minimum towards 36.9, and max it can go towards 34, and a pump from there towards one more push of 53. So that's the wave count. I have, a bullish count. Basically, it's like a diagonal. Now, this diagonal is a very valid one. But the problem is we already tested the golden pocket zone. And if you look at the weekly RSI, the weekly RSI have lost the MA, which is a bit, a strong sign that in coming days, we are going to see some downside move. Overall, the momentum is bullish because we are still above the zero levels. Now, if you talk about the, overall market scenario, the ETF has been approved. So basically now the only narrative that can pump the price is your halving. Now in coming days, everybody is going to share the screenshot. April is coming, halving is coming, halving is coming. And that's exactly what, the whole market is going to show you. Halving, halving, halving. So now I do think at this point that we are more likely going to go for a little bit sideways, and there is going to be a range between 40,000 and 44.7. That's the range. Max it can go towards the weekly naked POC of 45.5, 45.7, and we down further towards 37. That's the whole idea, a minimum target. Now this is a very bullish case actually I have. Just imagine why people are longing. Why? Just give me one reason. This is the diagonal scenario. The people are longing because the risk reward is amazing. They feel that the bottom is in. And let's say the bottom is in, we have flipped the 29K. So the 29K support is flipped. And that's exactly why people just kept on longing around 39, 34, and now 45. And they are going to keep on longing. Let's say even if somebody is longing here, their stop loss is literally under 27.5. It's that stop loss. And they are targeting the take profits of around 84 minimum. And the bull run target for this is $450,000. But let's say we don't want to go to 450. We just want to go towards 150K. And even if we go towards 150K, that means it gives them 236% gains, which makes it a very good trade actually, or an investment for like 7 hours almost. Hence, they are longing. So at what price or at what levels these people are going to panic? These people are going to panic when we start losing 28.9 thousand. When we start literally going under this, they're going to start puking, which means that they are literally just going to start closing, and we're going to then look for a liquidations under 24.7. Now that's a very different story. Now I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'll show you how. The alternative bullish count is, this is 1, this was 2, which was a very shallow one, because normally 2 goes to minimum 0.5, but this did not even went to 0.382 properly. Let's say this is just 2 and we're getting 1. So hence we're going to see another wave 2. The top is in with a bearish engulfing candle, and we're going to retest a 702 Fibonacci levels. Now, if let's say the top is in, so I'm just going to adjust the Fibs. So for that, our entry would be somewhere around 34.2 to 32.1 and max 30,000. So let's say our wave 2 is slightly going to be, not that deep, but slightly deep. So it's going to be somewhere around this. That's going to be like your, a wave 2, a 1-2-1-2 scenario, and we then going to be blasting up. The dip we're going to see is more or less, when the halving is happening. When halving happens, we get this dip and then we start running back up. So that's the, 1-2-1-2 scenario. Now, all these scenarios, everybody has it, because, even I had this scenario since, I would say November. December also had the same scenario. January, same scenario. But few days back when I was analyzing in January itself, I came to, I was just thinking as to what can be a disaster. How this whole move can be a disaster. How? What it came to my mind was a pretty much accumulation. Let's say if the price, now I'm saying if, okay, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but let's say if the price starts rejecting heavily on a monthly, and we got this as A, B, C, and our diagonal gets invalidated, we start closing under 31, basically this, and we start going under towards 23, then this whole move would be considered as ABC, and then we would be getting another A, B, C, like a double bottom, and then another ABC, another ABC, chop, 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 a dump followed by a rally like this. That's like a huge capitulation. Now, not necessary the BTC should be going towards 8,000. Just ignore this drawing. We're completely going to follow the Fibs. It can literally do swing filler pattern. It can go to just 13,800. But this is the idea in case this is the bearish case that we have. Now, this bearish case is literally going to take almost, I would say, another year or so. So the bull run literally might get shift from 2024 to literally in 2025. So that everybody expects in 2024, it don't happen. It happens in 2025 or maybe even 2026. So this is the worst case scenario we need to be very, very careful of. At this point, this is not confirmed, but this is a very probable scenario only when we get a harsh rejection in 3 waves moves towards, the 15.5, and maybe even slightly, we sweep the lows, just a swing filler pattern. And then we look for ABC, something like this, and then we do something like this, a big pump. So that's gonna be the worst case scenario, and something we need to keep an eye on. Now, why I got this, scenario? First of all, why? Because of ETF approval, honestly. Now, I have put my thoughts behind why I think that ETF is not a good thing for Bitcoin. It would have been amazing. It would have been good if they would have not, if they would have released ETF in the original, as per the original agreement. But when they have an amendment, the amendment gave the issuer a right to leverage, the demand versus the artificial supply. So they can literally inflate the Bitcoin on paper so that they don't have to go into the market and buy, or they don't have to just hold the Bitcoins. Now that's a very tricky part actually. That's exactly what they have for gold or whatever the ETFs they have actually. Artificial supply is what they have. You can study their agreement as well, or the revisions as well. Now, when we had a CME, the CME launched, I've been very vocal about it. Whenever the ETF gets launched, normally I would like to see a dump. And that's exactly what happened. So far, we got almost close to, I would say, 17 to 18% dump. Not 17, sorry. 40,000, 17%, almost close to 17% dump. The 17% dump, I would not say that it's like a big dump, of course. I would say when CME was approved, we literally go into the bear market. Now, a very similar sort of a thing I think we should be seeing. Now, not like a bear market, but a small intermediate bear market. It can be like this, where everybody is going to be bearish again, and then we run up. This is how the market can literally do that trick. I also have a bullish harmonic. Now, not many people are aware of, but our community knows about it. So this is the harmonic that I have, that the golden pocket zone is your top, and we can be looking for somewhere around 0.5 to 618, or maybe even 0.382, which is somewhere around 3615. We get a bounce for roughly around 786, or maybe golden pocket zone again. But let's say 786, somewhere around here. And then we dump towards 886. Now this is very, very interesting, guys. This is very, very interesting. It also goes with the historical trend, because if you look at the monthly, or let's look at the yearly. If you look at the yearly chart, I'm just going to hide. In the history of Bitcoin, let's just deep dive into the history of Bitcoin. There were only 1 year where the market was red. As you can see, this is the only year where the market was red. In 2014, another year 2018, another year 2022. So there's only 1 year historically when the market was red. After that, it was all bull run. So if that theory applies, we are in the bull run, okay? And we can look for opportunities or a deep buying opportunities. If you look at from the FIBS perspective, if you look at here, if you compare the FIBS from the highs to the lows of the red candle, just look at, I'm just going to have it here. Also, we're going to have a same thing here, and now we're going to have a same thing here. So if you look at in 2014, when we had a bear market, the next year it was green. I mean, my candle is yellow, of course. So the next year was green, and after that next year, the first green year, like a reversal, the next year we got our dip towards 0.14 fib of the bear market. You see a retest. This retest happened. The 0.14 fib retest happened over here, almost, I would say 354.9, almost there. So 0.14 fib retest happened and the market started pumping. Similarly, after 2018 bear market, 2019 was yellow, or I would say green, and 2020 we got a perfect dip towards 0.14 fib of the bear market. Basically this candle. It was at 3993.48 and the dip we got was at 3941.2. Now coming to a same theory, and the history normally repeats with the price action. Let's say this is the bear market. The next year was green, as every time it has been, and the next year we never closed above or completely recovered the bear run. And that's exactly what happened. We never recovered the bear run. So we never engulfed the bear run. Now, the another candle that's forming in 2024, if the same theory applies, the 18,170 to 19,000 becomes absolutely the best buy levels or in investment levels for Bitcoin. I mean, you should not be waiting for 15K or 13K or 7K or whatever. It might come. At this point, it's too difficult to say. Based on the current market, what I can say for sure is currently we are in the bull run. Historically, we have never seen a bear market more than 1 year. I mean, you can see here. You can literally see, and you can make yourself that we never saw a bear market more than a year. And hence, this year, 2024, if you get those dips towards 18,100 to $19,000, then it's going to be an amazing dip. Trust me. Now it can go to 15K, as I mentioned previously as well. There is a bear count, which in my view is a valid one, but I'm not sticking with that bear count. Honestly, I would not like to be bear. Like, we just play the levels. Currently, the levels suggest we are bullish. So at this point, you should not be having any bearish thoughts. Simply, you should be looking to buy the dips. Yes, there is a hell lot of liquidity at 34,000, a huge liquidity under this. I would say more than $10 billion of liquidity. So imagine how much liquidity we will be having under this. And this makes perfect sense that, if we do happen to see a very nice run like this, and if you're accumulating like this, I think, it will be great to go towards 0.14 and after the 5 waves. So how? Just give us the dip, run up and form a range. So this is going to be a range. Form a range, dump like this and go like this. That's how I would like to see. But at this point, I'm much more interested in buying the dip, as I mentioned, around 37,000 to 36.1. That's the good levels for me in my view. And if we start losing that, then I would be hedging my spot backs probably, and would like to then enter anything towards 32.2 to 31.1. So then I would just simply hedge my spots. I'm going to give all my plans, all the trades, everything in the community, 21M technicals. Now this is what I see for Bitcoin on the hard-term time frame. I don't see BTC pumping literally from here to all-time highs. No, there's still a dip that is left because we are playing a range. That's a range. This is an accumulation range. So we need some accumulation, maybe even a retest of 32.6 will be very healthy, and we might literally form a big cup and handle. Something like this. Inverse hand and shoulder. And also there is a possibility, as I mentioned, we can also form Adam and Eve. I mean, this is like a very nice Adam, and we can go for Eve. So that's going to be our neckline, and we're going to have the Eve. But if we get the 20K, that's going to be amazing. I mean, this Eve is going to be amazing. And the target for a minimum target, I mean, that's not exactly a complete target, but like a minimum target would be around 83,464 to be precise. So I think the Adam and Eve formation also makes sense with the 0.14 fib retest. Now it can be a shallow, it can even be like a 0.14 fib as well. Somewhere around, let's see where that 0.5 fib is at in the golden pocket zone. So yeah, I mean, we can be like a perfect, I mean, this is like a shallow Adam and Eve. But the perfect one would be the 0.14 fib. I mean, this is the perfect one. So let's see what we get it, guys. But overall, I am bullish. At this point, I think the bottom is in. And we're literally going to hold the 15.5K. That's what be the best levels for Bitcoin in this 2024. Now, don't ask me the time as to when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. So there are two ways, as I mentioned. Ideally, I would like to see this to happen in a diagonal. So a diagonal scenario, as I mentioned, with this brush, okay? I'm just put it in a diagonal. So we go down, pump one more time, squeeze up, finish the wave one, and then we start dumping towards the green zone, or maybe even the 0.14 fib. Overall, this is how it's going to happen. Now, the thing is, one more important thing to notice here is we can already be in a wave 5, meaning that this is 1, 2, 3, a small wave 4 and 5. So that's how, you know, a wave 5 might already be in actually. That's the problem actually of this whole count actually. I mean, there's a very high likelihood that the wave 5 is in with a wick, you know, something like this. I mean, you can have a triangle, and that's how the, you know, the wave 5 happen. Now that's a very high likely scenario. If you just inverse the chart, you see this move as like some sort of a clean 1, 2, 3, a small wave 4 and a 5, a very small one. Now even if that is not the case, I mean, let's say it's not happening, the wave 4 is likely going to be around 0.5 to, you know, or basically I would say golden pocket zone, 34,000. Normally the diagonal is like a golden pocket zone. So that's how then probably the diagonal would be. But for now, there is a likelihood that the wave 4 and wave 5 might be in. Now let's go back to the Coinbase chart. So that is all about the high term time frame. If you look at the Coinbase chart, that's like a first candle. As I mentioned, we got a very interesting engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle. Now, bearish engulfing candle, of course, are not, you know, bullish. They are bearish. So the bounce that we get are for shorting, in my view. And I'm still aiming for a minimum levels of, you know, somewhere around, I would say, where are my 23 levels here? So the 2023 high has been like a deviation. As you can see on the weekly, we are still having is like a deviation. The 2022 highs are taken care of, and now we're going to have a 2023 mid levels, which is around 30,736. Now in between, we're going to look for the 2023 volume profile. So let's see what 2023 gave to us. So from 1st of Jan, basically, let's go to the days. Okay, we have those levels. This is like a 2023 value area high, which is around 30,000. So basically, I think we have a lot of support around 30,000. In fact, our proprietary support resistance algo also tells us that 32,100 is a good support with 6 rockets. I mean, this support resistance algo draws the support and resistance in real time, and they are static. It's not going to change unless and until any big variation happens. So this is like a big levels, and surely it's going to give us some good bounce from there with a 666 rockets You have 2022 equilibrium, 2023 equilibrium, you have monthly levels, you have 2023 value area highs, a lot of support basically. So I do think this 32,100 to 31,000 is a good levels in my view. Talking about the levels, I mean, this is really good actually. Now let's go to the, talking about the weekly time frame. Just look at the one more important aspect is RSI. RSI on BTC, it seems to me like we are just lost the MA, and I am expecting it to most likely at least test the support, which is around here. If we lose, then we are likely going to see a retest of 50%. From there we run up, something like this. So that's for now it's a bearish. So we just need a bit of reset on RSI on a weekly time frame. Talking about the daily time frame, the daily time frame is already bearish. We have already lost the 50%. So now it's likely going to continue to downside, and I am expecting it to go and retest 29. So the daily is already bearish. So I think overall the bounces are for shorting in my view for Bitcoin. Talking about the USDT DOM, I was the only one where I normally analyze the USDT DOM. Nobody have that deep understanding of how to read this USDT DOM, and that's something I can say for the fact. It's not that I'm it's but yeah, it's a true actually that I've been trading myself with the help of the USDT dominance chart very perfectly. The USDT dominance on the daily time frame is looking amazing. We have flipped 5.63%. Also the range value area high is at 5.84. Now it's like if you just inverse the chart, what you will see is that so we accumulated, this is the range, the price bounced, a small range, price bounce, a small range, price bounce, and now we got a bigger range. Once we start going inside this range, we're going to do something like this and like this, or fake out and a reverse, something like this. But a minimum target is set with at least 6.7%. That's a very bare minimum target for USDT dominance. And why I say that this target is why? Let's go deep dive into the USDT dominance chart. The USDT dominance weekly time frame is so bullish. I mean, I have been very vocal about it, because if you look at the price action, this was the highs, this was the lows. Unfortunately, we did not sweep the highs, hence making equal highs. This liquidity is not being taken care of. We have equal highs here, we have equal highs here, and then we got a dump. That's the story. And we swept the lows, look all the liquidity, but not a single weekly candle closed under 5.63%, as you can see. Not a single candle. Hence, this is really bullish at this point. Look at the weekly RSI. The weekly RSI is reversing. We are already flipping the MA, and I'm damn sure this shit is gonna pump towards 50% in no matter of time. We can literally see a big massive dump on the market. Literally, you can say that the dump might literally happen. It can literally go to 6.8% a single candle, with what people expect it to go like sideways and dump. Literally it can go in a single slingshot. At this point, this is how bullish it looks. The only bear for the lower term time frame, it looks when we start losing the levels of 5.85. Once we start losing, we can look for a retest of 5.63 and then further run up like this, meaning that USD DOM RSI is going to have a retest and then run up. That's going to be nice. The only problem I see over here is the OBV. OBV is very, very bullish. Look at the OBV. OBV is literally breaking the highs. This was the highs of June 2022. So OBV is already making higher highs versus the price is not even making that higher highs. Now this is a bit, a worrying sign, because normally OBV runs up first and then the price follows. So we just have to be very, very careful actually, honestly. So overall, the weekly RSI is still bullish. Talking about the price, the EMA, the price finds its support at EMA 200 at 5.3%. We literally bounced from the EMA 200. So now probably, we can just range. We can range between 200 and 50. So 200 and EMA 50. We can just range between 6.8 to 5.3 for like, few days basically. So that's what, I am aiming to long here basically and short here. That's exactly what we should be doing. Now talking about the daily time frame. So weekly is bullish. We also, if you look at the divergence indicator, our TMV divergence indicator, the weekly time frame, currently, as we speak, let me just okay, the USD dominant symbol is not available. So there was a bullish divergence, OBV and stochastic. Currently it's not displaying because we have a OBV bear divergence coming from these highs. As I mentioned, we made higher highs from here, so the OBV is bearish at this point. So the price needs to give us some upside move, and then OBV is going to make it reject. That is going to be our buy at this point. So currently I think we are having that bullish divergence on OBV as well as stochastic, and that was from here, from these levels. So the we had a bullish divergence, and that divergence is in play at this point. Looking to the daily time frame, daily time frame is also looking good. Look at the RSI flip 50. The momentum is bullish. In fact, the OBV is also looking good. Seems to me like making inverse head and shoulder, small dip and then run up. So daily is definitely looking good, and the momentum is also gaining. So it's saying that once we flip the zero, we are going to be very bullish on USD DOM. However, there are levels we need to keep in mind. 6.2%, that's our first bearish levels, big resistance. Till we don't flip it, we are bearish. So once we flip, then we can short it towards 6.7 to 6.8. There we are surely longing the whole market, because I do think that the market is then probably going to give us a good retest towards 5.9 and maybe even 5.63. So that is going to be a very interesting deep buying, honestly. So 6.2 is our first levels, and then 6.7 to 6.8 would be our second level. Talking about total three, as I mentioned on the Twitter as well, I am hoping for the wave 4. Now the wave 4 can happen in two ways. First, we see a wave 4 happening in a triangle. That's exactly when I mentioned on a Twitter that I'm expecting a dump. Everybody was bullish. I mentioned no, we are going to dump, and that's exactly what happened. We literally dumped to range resistance of $463 billion, and then we bounced. Literally we got a bounce from those levels, like a perfect 3 to 3.5%. Basically it was a good bounce. Now we have the triangle in play. This is the levels we really want to see it hold if the triangle is in play. If we start losing, then we go for an alternative wave 4, which is going to be around 430 to 420 billion dollars. Basically the sweep of the lows of 430 billion. That's what RSI is bearish on 12 hours. On daily it's bearish. There is no bullish divergence or anything. It's bearish. Overall the momentum is bullish. The dips are for buying. That's what it suggests. So I do think we need, we see how are we going to hold the range resistance for now. But if we say that USD dominance is bull and Bitcoin is going to dump, of course also are going to dump as well. So the red alternative wave 4 is also very likely. If we start losing the range resistance, then we're likely going to see a move towards 1272 and 1414 fib. That's going to be the beast levels for long. And worst case scenario, we can go to 1618, but 1414 is a good levels in my view. Also my harmonic is praying perfectly. I've already mentioned on in 21M technicals that this harmonic is looking good, and if this is how it's going to play, then we have a problem. So we need to literally invalidate this harmonic, because if we don't invalidate, if we start closing under 400 billion, then we have a big problem. The whole market is going to turn bearish, and also are literally going to start dumping big. That's how it's going to go, because the target for this whole thing is like sweep of this lows, basically under 285 billion dollars. That's like a like a 50% dump from the current market for alts. Now that is very likely because the ETH Bitcoin is bearish overall. On the lower term time frame, it might be bullish. Overall, on the weekly, it's bearish, because the final target for this whole bear scenario is somewhere around 761 at fib, which is where here. First of all, we have this pattern, and the plan was perfectly playing out. So hold on, where is the fibs? I think I screwed. So we're going to have a fib, perfect, 786, 0.031. Now this pump can be bullish. Now it can give us a dip like this and then further run up, A, B, C, and then we dump more like this. Overall, this dump has to come. Once this dump comes, then the money will start flowing back into the alts. That's going to be like a bigger ABC. That's where the ETH is going to be a good investment at that point of time. But for now, overall, the high term time frame is bearish. A lower term time frame, I expect like something like this, as retest of daily support of 0.053, a pump towards 0.069, and then further dump. So this, alt rally is going to happen. But before that, we're going to see a dump as well, which means a slight dump in Bitcoin is going to lead a bigger dump on alts. So if Bitcoin dumps 10%, alts are going to dump 20%. That's how it's going to be for the lower term time frame. Overall, guys, I think this is how I see the market actually in coming days. Overall, I think Bitcoin is heavy, and it's likely going to see more downside. Lower term time frame, I see a bounce. Now that we're going to discuss in a separate stream after this stream is ended with the premium members. Where are we going to long? What are we going to play? And what would be the targets? So I think overall hard term time frame, this is what I see. We have a good indicators, guys. We have price action algo, which gives you like chalk, boss ext, fair value gap, liquidity, order blocks, and especially order blocks with candle. like engulfing and pin bars, order block, fibs, and every level, like weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, Monday high, lows, and mid, and EMS support and resistance. Basically, you have a power peg indicator here. When you have a divergence indicator, you have now this divergence indicator is very different than what is available in the market. Totally different. You can use it and you will find the difference. And then we have support resistance algo. That's another unique indicator we have. I mean, you also have fibs. It automatically draw the fibs if you really want to use it with the fibs. It draw fibs on high term time frame, lower term time frame, whatever you want to have it. I think short term would be nice if you really want to use it for scalps. And it draws the support and resistance. It also have volumetric candles, and it have trend lines. Things are looking good. Use it wisely, and if you really want to claim access or you want to try it, just fill the form mentioned in the announcement channel in the Discord, and I'm going to give an access actually probably tomorrow. Okay, so that's all for today's stream, guys, and we're going to keep on doing these public streams very frequently. After this stream, going to do the premium stream where we're going to be talking more of lower term time frames and some scalps that I'm looking for. So that's all. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.